And it's another area. It's another K area in your area. Blackpink edition of the K area show and podcast. So what do we have up for the show today? Supermatic.
What's up, everybody? We've got a couple of Daebak or Not segments. We'll be taking a look at the 2 new releases from Blackpink, and then we'll be following that up with talking about some K-popularities and controversies, specifically the sad news about Rainbow.
All right, show intro, here we go.
What's the thing you're obsessed with these days?
K-pop.
What is this, Korean pop music?
The Korean wave?
It's the K-wave, and it's washed over Asia for the last few years.
It's the best thing you've ever seen.
The girls' generation.
A wave of supergroups with infectious hooks.
I'm really impressed. I'm speechless, really.
It's a global phenomenon.
1, 2, 3, bitches. 오늘 밤 우리 삐끼삐끼 해, yeah. Baby, give me some, give me some, yeah, yeah, yeah. 나가던 밤과 함께 다 지나왔다면 누구 차례
사슴같이 예쁜 hun 나의 princess 나를 보고 비웃는 게 너무 시크해 모두 날 보게 너 지금부터 잘 지켜봐
The K Area Show. I'm one of the co-hosts, DJ Peter Lowe, and I'm joined by my 2 recurring guests, Nurse Joyce.
Hello.
And Supermatic.
What's up? What's up?
So, Supermatic, what do we have to kick the show off first for this week?
All right, we'll be diving right into our Daebak or Not segment, and we're taking a look at the hot 2 new releases from Blackpink. The first one we'll be taking a look at is the MV for the song Playing with Fire.
Fire! Not that kind of fire.
Nope.
No, okay.
No, I think it's something that every K-pop group has to do now. They have to have some song about fire.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
That's
you're
true.
not a K-pop group if you don't have a song related to fire.
Right. Sounds about right.
So it's Playing with Fire, and every week for Daebak or Not, we take a look at what we thought of the concept, and we give a 1 to 5 score. Was it good? What we thought of the looks, the dance, the aesthetic, all that together, and we give it a 1 to 5 score, 5 being best, 1 being the worst. And then we also look at the audio, also a 1 to 5 scale. And lastly, we think if it's Daebak or Not. And the idea is that we're trying to be short, silly, simple, if it's worth remembering or not. So kicking it off, starting it with the concept, shall we pass it your way, Supermatic, with Playing with Fire?
Starting off with the concept first instead of audio?
You know, I don't know if we have like a fixed regimen for doing this on the show, but I'll let you pick, Supermatic, whatever you want to start off with.
Let's go with audio.
Yeah. All right. So audio-wise, this song is like not exactly maybe a bop, or as I would qualify, like maybe a jam, but it's something I could definitely listen to if it comes up. But it's not a song I'm gonna go to right away. That being said, I will admit it's got a nice progression throughout, or a nice consistent progression throughout the duration of it. The intro is catchy. I feel like it does a good job of building up. I'll touch more on that later when we compare it to Stay. But yeah, honestly, I can't really say too much aside from the fact that it's just like it's nice. I can definitely see myself dancing to it. Like I said, I'll listen to it if it comes up, but not exactly like super memorable in my book.
Yeah.
So I would give it audio wise just maybe a solid like 3. Because I'm in that middle ground. Like I don't exactly hate it, but I don't like dislike it either, or I don't super like it either.
Okay, all right. There's Joyce. What did you think?
I remember liking it a lot. I would give it a 4, actually. I really enjoyed it. So
Why did you really enjoy it?
it was just really, it's got a nice hook to it.
Okay.
It's a bit punchy. I guess I just really, and it's kind of a belting song.
Yeah.
Girls kind of belt it out.
Yeah.
Kind of shows off their vocals a bit. And I think it's their strongest point is when they do these sort of more dance-like songs versus their other song that just came out, Stay. So I think this is a strong point for them.
Okay. Well, if you asked me what I thought of the song in terms of its audio score, when I first listened to it, I probably would have given it like a 2.5 because I was not feeling it at first. But then I listened to it a couple more times and I was like really trying to get into the groove. And I want to bump it up to a 3.5 for myself. Now, the reason for that is, one, if you guys don't already know him, Mr. Kpopcast does like YouTube reaction videos and stuff. And the way he dissected and broke down the audio concept of the song, it made me appreciate it a lot more in terms of just making sure each of the frequencies, the highs, mediums, and lows are each balanced, changing up the time signature, so in terms of whether or not it has a swing or not. And I think the big audio highlight in this song, at least in my opinion, is the way the rap is played out in the song. So the harmony, the instrumental for the rap section, I think is really the best part of the song. And usually when we remember a song, we remember it's for its chorus. To your point, Nurse Joyce, it's a strong belting chorus, right? But for me, it was the rap that I thought was really good.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's funny because when you think of the beat, it has a very strong bass kick, right? Each kick you hear very strongly. And that's usually through what a lot of music producers do. They'll put a compressor. So it's like imagine if you were like shouting into the mic, and I want to make sure like Joyce can be heard every time while you're shouting into the mic. So I just turn down your volume every time Joyce says something. Oh. So that's what a compressor is. Like it turns on the volume on one track to make basically room for another one. And so you get that with this song where the volume is being decreased every time the kick comes in, so that the kick is loud, but everything is decreased in volume every time the kick comes in. But it's in a way that's not too strong that you get with like a lot of like the throwback EDM hits from like Deadmau5 or stuff from that, EDM era. Like that trance, I think that we heard a lot of early trance music. But it's a very strong kick, and it's still in the style. Do you remember Stellar Sting?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Yeah. So that was kind of like that's a little faster song, right? But it's all that same style, but this I think is much heavier on the bass. And you hear that, I think, through these methods, through the compression and stuff. And there's a lot of other small details, such as like the rhythm of the hi-hats, which gives it, I feel like, more of that swing feeling. Whereas you listen to a lot of classic trance with that really heavy sidechaining compressor sound effect, it's usually a strong 4/4 dum 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 dum. But with those hi-hats, it gives it that really melodic swing. So that's what made me bump it.
You lost me.
Sorry. But this is the reason why. Like I changed it from, a 2.5 to 3.5 is because of all these technical points in the song that really made me appreciate the production value of the song. So going into the concept, Supermatic.
Okay. The concept, I will admit, I was a little nicer with because I had to watch the MV a few times because I was appreciating the aesthetics of it. I like the way that they did the lighting. I like how they kept it very thematic. Like they had a lot of, visual imagery of fire burning, and then they had like interesting scenes and like pictures, I guess is what they were going for, or like scene settings of different words. Like there's the part where Rose has to hug that guy, and then like there's that huge sign that says fate. So I guess like going with the song, it was the whole idea of like, you know, what they say is that love is like fire, eventually burns out. That's the fate of love. Or something. I'm guessing. I'm taking a shot here. I haven't looked too much into
like
this.
strongly and passionately.
Going off of what I remember from watching the MV and listening to the song. So that much I appreciate. Me being the dancer guy of this group, I also definitely got to shout out the choreography. I feel like it wasn't too over the top.
Airplane moves.
They got the airplane moves. Like it feels more simplified than what they did for Boombayah. This one's not as like hard hitting or energetic, but if like watching it, it still feels like it definitely takes a little bit of effort. It's not as easy as it looks. I feel like.
Yeah.
So major shout out to that. I don't know yet who choreographed it for them, but it still looks like a dance.
I'll leave it to you to figure that out, because I know one way or another you're going to probably like meet the person who did it.
Right. But what I will say is that I do see the dance being covered. Like I can definitely see if this song comes on at any party that you're spinning or any other K-pop DJ spinning, there will be people who know this dance who are going to do it. So
yeah,
major props for that. Aside from that, I just got to say the concept overall was enjoyable for me. It's a nice little package, so I will give the concept score a 3.5.
Nice. Miss Joyce?
Well, I thought the concept was fairly simple. I would give it a 4. I mean, it's a song about fire, so therefore lots of fire. They found a lot of wooden structures to burn, like bridge, burn it. Another sign, burn it.
Yeah.
Let the girls play with some matches. I mean, they exhausted every kind of fire thing, but throw some torches in the back that make them dance around it. So, I mean, aesthetically, it was really pretty. The girls, great dancers, can't say anything wrong with that. So, I think I'll give it, did I say give it a score yet? I gave it a 4.
4.
So,
excellent.
yeah.
All right, so for me, I'm going to give it a 3. I liked it. To me, was it on par with Blackpink or Whisper? Or not Blackpink or Whisper. Boombayah or Whisper.
Whistle?
With...
We can't remember any of the names of these songs today, because I can't remember.
But I thought those songs were better. The ones, the song names I apparently cannot remember. Whistle and Boombayah. Is that right? Did I do it right that time? Okay, Whistle and Boombayah. So I thought those were better concepts compared to this. We still have that, those very similar color schemes. I think that you saw with Whistle as well as Boombayah in this song for the music video in terms of all the different colors that we're seeing. But like you said, Matt, I'm not feeling the choreo. I'm not seeing it as much. To me, it's not memorable. I don't know. I think the production value is there. You can tell that they put a lot of effort into getting. You can tell that they have After Effects in it. They put a lot of money into doing all the fire scenes. I like that. It's this idea that a love could be fiery, passionate, intense. It can hurt so good, and then it can be over like that. So yeah, that I like. So yeah, a 3 for me. Daebak or not? Supermatic.
I might sound a little harsh in my criticisms, but I'm still going to give this one a Daebak.
Daebak.
I'm going to give it a Daebak.
Yeah, and I will just barely give it a Daebak. It's like just passing by the skin of its teeth. Like, when I think of Blackpink, and I look to YG groups for this now, it's like they are the epitome of what it means to be a high production value K-pop group, and I always look for that in the YG music videos, and I think they've already set that really strong precedent with Blackpink, and I look forward to that every time now. But was this song as good as the last 2 songs? No, I feel like I was let down because they had that precedent already of being higher, better.
The bar was set too high with how they
Well,
debuted.
I would love to see that they continue to deliver on that same level, and I don't think they delivered at that same level as they did with the other songs. I mean, I think, granted, what I'm saying is maybe contradictory for like a lot of what it means to be a K-pop fan. I still love Blackpink, but as a Blackpink fan, a stan, I feel like I was a little let down.
Okay.
And I can still love the group while saying this. I think the girls, they obviously put in the effort. They obviously, did good with what they were given. But the concept and the audio, wasn't as good as their last songs.
Fair enough.
I would actually disagree. I actually like this song better than their other 2 songs.
Yeah, what's that?
It was just more danceable to me.
Oh, really?
And I don't know, the other ones, they were a bit more busy. This one's a little more simple.
Mm-hmm.
And this one,
It is more mid-tempo too.
the hook actually gets stuck in my head more when they're just saying the chorus. It's stuck in my head more so than the other songs.
There you go. This is why we have more than one host on the show to give those counterpoints and perspectives. So that's it for Blackpink and their song Playing with Fire. I got the title right?
Yes.
Okay.
불타오르네.
All right, moving on to our second Daebak or Not segment. It is the other release from Blackpink called Stay, which shows us a bit of a softer side of the three girls after the first three songs. So, shall we go ahead and get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
어두운 밤이 날 가두기 전에 내 곁을 떠나지 마. 아직 날 사랑하니 내 맘과 같다면 오늘은 떠나지 마. 굳이 너여야만 하는 이유 묻지 마. 그저 내 곁에 stay with me. It goes a little something like la 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 지금 당장 나는 걸 바라는 게 아니야. 그저 내 곁에 stay with me.
All right, so kicking things off with the audio, I gotta say, funny enough, I assumed that Playing with Fire would be stuck in my head, but then I listened to Stay, and I find that it is winning out as far as which of the two is more memorable for me right now. And I'm honestly surprised at that, but I mean, I guess I'm a sucker for like ballads at the moment, or like not necessarily ballads, but softer songs. The guitar riff from like the moment you hear it on the intro, I mean, I don't know if Rose actually played the guitar, but in the music video you see her playing it. But yeah, just that guitar hook, it's stuck in my head. The whole part of the chorus where they go na 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 na, like I got that in my head too, and I'm remembering Jenny's rap, or like or when she's rapping / singing, it's kind of like a more melodic like singing flow rap, like just so many different parts of the song are more memorable to me right now than Playing with Fire was. And I'm like, I just gotta say, like, I guess I'm just really enjoying how chill it is, and probably because as we covered Playing with Fire, and then before, like many moons ago when Blackpink first debuted, Boombayah and Whistle, like even with Whistle, it was still more up tempo than Stay was. Stay is like a much like softer and like lower tempo style for Blackpink, so I guess I'm enjoying that because it's something totally different from what I expected.
It shows that they have versatility.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got to give props to all four of the girls for showing that they do definitely have vocals here. I was pleasantly surprised, and factoring all of that into one nice little package, I'm going to give the audio score a strong 4.
A 4.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Take it away, Nurse Choice.
I'm actually going to give it a 3.
Ooh.
And it's not saying I don't like the song. I do. Yeah. And I think it actually is a genre that I really enjoy. It's a folk song. It's a country folk song. I mean, there's a freaking harmonica in the background.
Right.
Like, there is acoustic guitar, and it sounds like a Taylor Swift song back in the day. So I like country music, so I enjoyed that part. Was it the most memorable country music song? No. It's funny that it's a Korean country music song.
That's what you can sort of imagine, like Taylor Swift coming in.
I know. Yeah, that's what I expect. I expect Taylor Swift to come in with her guitar and do her little la la la's. Like, that's something you would expect Taylor Swift to do back when she was still country Taylor Swift, before she got angry and
started dating everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, before blank space Taylor Swift, like way back when she was like young and had all the blonde curls and stuff.
Teardrops on my guitar, Taylor Swift.
Yeah. That's kind of like what it sounds like. I mean, it's not unpleasant, but I think it does kind of limit the girls' vocal abilities. I know
Because
Matt.
they have to go in one range or something?
Yeah,
or?
well, Matt, you said you really liked it. I thought these girls are the kind of girls who can belt out a song. And this was just like anybody could sing it. La, 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 la. Like, I could do it.
So it was really handicapping their ability.
Yeah, I don't think it really showed anything off.
Yeah.
It was a pleasant song. It'll probably be used in some commercials, but there's nothing really too memorable about it, and it doesn't really show off the girls' full talent. But I appreciate them kind of looking for other inspiration for their music versus the more poppy K-pop stuff. They actually decided to pull in some folk, which probably some other groups are going to follow.
Yeah. I remember, to bring him in again, Mr. J K-pop made that same point that, this may be indicative of a new trend, right? Like YG introduces it, like, throws the stone in the water, and then all the ripples are felt in the other, K-pop industry. So for me, with the audio, I'm going to give it 2.5. Sorry, guys. I did not like it. It's funny, at the very beginning, what Joyce, what you're saying with like the harmonica and like the boom, 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 like the bass and guitar. It's like I'm imagining like an old Western and sepia tones, and it's like back in the day, back in the farm, me and the lad, and I don't know. So that's what I'm kind of imagining it starting off with. But really, once it starts getting into like the la 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 la, the la la la's, I'm imagining more of a different story where it's like, in the not too distant future, after the great K-pop battles between K-pop fans in the aftermath of the K-pop battles of 2020, like, they all got together.
Where are you getting this?
This is what I think of when I listen to K-pop.
When you hear some la la la's, that's what you get.
Yeah. Well, hang on. So I'm not done yet. So after like this big battle between all these different like warring K-pop fandom groups, you got everyone holding hands and singing "Kumbaya," and this is the song that they're.
I'm expecting more just like frolicking in fields. That's what I expected.
Yeah, maybe fields, but I'm imagining less fields and more like post-apocalyptic aftermath in the same setting actually that this music video was filmed. But everyone's holding hands and going la 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 la, and someone's on guitar strumming their guitar, and that's what I'm imagining for this song.
All right, go ahead and move into concept then, Peter Love.
Okay,
since you're halfway
I'll
there.
kick off with concept. So concept.
Since you made up your own anyway.
Yeah. Concept. I want to give it 2.9. So I like the concept just a little more than the song. I mean, truth be told, you guys are kind of swaying me in terms of what you're saying about the audio, in terms of like, oh, you thought the chorus, the hook was more catchy than Playing with Fire. Yes, I got the name right. Okay. But the concept of this one, remember how everything Blackpink is in these very dark, strongly contrasted colors, right? Like black and pink or different vibrant colors that are contrasted with each other, but usually dark. So heavy saturation. But with this one, it's under a different filter, like a different filter on Instagram. Like I feel like the last 3 songs were under the same Instagram filter, but this song it's under a different one where it's all like light, and blue. So it's a different color for them, and that was nice. But I thought this one I thought was just more intellectually provocative in terms of like, oh well, are they alive? Are they dead? Are they living in this post-apocalyptic world together? And there's all these, and you pointed this out to us, Matt, but like there's all these random dudes that appear in one scene and then disappear the next, watching them hold hands and circling around. So I don't know. Is this am I gonna remember it after this debak or not, or this recording of our K area episode? Probably not. So 2.9 for me. Okay, Supermatic.
Okay, so playing off of that concept-wise, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. Like as you said, it was a different, like you said, maybe a filter or like a different color as opposed to what we're used to from Blackpink. But because of that, again, like I said, I really enjoyed seeing them in kind of more of like a lighter setting and kind of more simplified.
Lighter, as in the color was lighter, or
like it's not
as in more lighthearted.
Like instead of Blackpink being in the club,
the sun.
This is like this is like or Blackpink being in the club, or instead of Blackpink just like partying and like enjoying living the nightlife, this is them during the day. It almost like maybe I'm alone in this camp, but to me, watching them throughout this MV, it kind of felt like we were maybe connecting a little more with the girls, like seeing, like in a sense, seeing them like when they're not necessarily like, oh, Blackpink, let's go, Boombaya, like all that.
Opa.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you mentioned the whole like post-apocalyptic idea, because I
It's
remember
like nuclear
that
fallout world.
I remember that not too long before we started this episode, we were watching the making of MV for Stay.
Yeah.
And I forgot who it was, but someone said that the idea was that they're in a city where it's just the four of them, because there used to be a lot of people living there, but then now they're all
the
gone.
nuclear apocalypse
and it's
happened.
just Blackpink who survived. Which in itself I kind of have to question, because
Maybe
as
they're
I pointed out,
mutants.
all these other like guys specifically that are dressed in all white and have no fashion sense, because some of them are in shorts, some of them are in
and baseball
blazers
caps
and baseball caps.
Yeah.
They randomly appear like in this city square in front of I guess what's supposed to be like a shout out to Radio City Music Hall from New York, because they're in front of the theater and the four girls run and meet up with each other, and they just like
They frolic.
they frolic around. They're just having fun. They're all smiling and happy, but then they're surrounded by these like dudes dressed in white, just creepily staring at them with blank faces.
And then they disappear.
Yeah, and then they disappear.
And there's like no
So-
continuity between the scene changes.
So at first when I saw that, I thought, wait, so are the girls dead or what's going on? But then we saw the making of, and apparently the girls are alive, and it's all those dudes who are dead. So I guess those are supposed to be the spirits. And the with that playing into what the song is about with Stay, I just watched it with English lyrics turned on, like the captions, subtitles. And the song itself is about like wishing you had someone by your side. So as the song says, like, stay with me. It's not necessarily like purely about love. It's just how you wish you had someone there for you. So like even in the dark, like in your darkest moments, you had someone there. You're not by yourself. So with all that considered, I like what they were able to put out with Stay, like the song itself, the concept, what the setting was of the music video, the story, which I feel like I can kind of understand better now. So that's why, concept-wise, I will also give it a 4.
That's pretty good. Thank you. Again, I'm glad we have differing opinions on this. Because, like, you know, you see things that I don't see. Maybe I see things that nobody sees. but yeah, let's ignore that for now. So, Nurse Joyce, what did you think?
I hated it.
The concept?
The concept was, I don't know, it was weird. I guess I kind of get the sort of post-apocalyptic thing, because that's kind of what they do in all their videos.
In YG videos especially.
But the song is like, la 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 la. It's like happy almost sounding. And it's just,
it's making peace with the aftermath.
I guess, but they've got these sort of like almost like tired stoic faces through most of the video. Like these girls, I mean, I think at one point that Jenny looked like she almost rolled her eyes. They just look so bored. They're all by themselves. They're miserable. They look pretty miserable. They're kind of wandering around kicking at things every once in a while. Like, they look pretty miserable. And then at the end, they're like, we're happy again. And they, like, skip around in circles. Like,
It's because they've made peace, Joyce.
they've made peace. And it's like, no. You don't get to just flip a switch like that. That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, and the song, like, when I hear it, I hear the chorus, it's kind of almost bubbly and happy sounding. I know the song is supposed to be sort of wistful. I expected them to be a little bit more wistful than just, like, morose looking for most of the video. At least look hopeful. And I wanted things to be, I don't know, this kind of song, I expected there to be prairies and frolicking and long flowing
And rainbows.
and
Maybe unicorns.
maybe not unicorns, but definitely horses, some pretty ponies,
And ponies.
some
And butterflies.
butterflies, flower wreaths, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I was kind of hoping for that, and they still had their terrible fashion sense as usual. I don't know. I just don't like the clothes these girls
them's fighting
wear.
words.
I just don't like their clothes they wear. It's like they pick something out. Like, what was Lisa wearing? She had like this puffy sweater with 2 horse heads on it. It was
when
like,
she's in the hospital hallway
Yeah.
by herself.
when she's wandering in a hospital by herself. That's not crazy. So, yeah, this music video made no sense to me. It didn't go with the song, and I think that bothered me more than anything else. I wanted it to be hopeful and light, but it didn't make me feel hopeful. It just made me focus on all the weird details.
So, overall score?
I think I give it a 2.
2, right. Okay, so Daebak or not, guys, you just gotta remember that in the epic flame war between the different K-pop fan groups, you know, they fought each other to to this aftermath world that we see, and they've made peace, and they realized that you can like more than one K-pop group without hating on the others, and that's that revelation that they have at the end of the music video where they're all happy, and then that's what the chorus of the song, because they're all la 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 holding hands, dancing around.
No.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I mean, I kind of want to give it Daebak if that was actually the case, but I'm sure it isn't. It's just me riffing too hard. So not Daebak for me.
I'm going to give it a not, too, just because that music video just was weird.
And I'm the loner Daebak.
That's all right. Okay.
You're special, Matt.
Supermatic and I would just pounded fists because, you know, it's like, you know, I'm glad he brings that and that he sees that. Meanwhile, myself and Nurse Choice don't, although Nurse Choice and I, we see different things. Okay, that's it. It's that was Blackpink.
Stay.
And that was Daebak or Not. We just reviewed the 2 songs by Blackpink, and that was actually voted on by our listeners on a Twitter poll who said we should review Blackpink, or 2NE1, I mean Blackpink, over EXO.
Someone's nostalgic.
Yeah. I'm not. We're seeing CL tomorrow, so maybe
that might have something to do with it.
Yeah. But in the world of K-popularities and controversies, with a K, we've got some new movement. Is that right, Supermatic?
Yeah, it's a bit of a down note, but some of the big news coming out of the world of K-pop right now, after 7 years together, the girl group known as Rainbow is going to be disbanding as of November 11th.
Yes, just wanna be with you.
Yeah. So, and how many years was that again, Superman?
7. 2009 they debuted, and 2016 they disbanded. That's 7-year curse.
Yeah. Oh, is there really a curse?
Well, it's a
contract.
Same thing.
Well, because I don't know what the standards are, but typically with a lot of the popular K-pop groups, it seems that once they hit a 7-year mark, it's either like they find a way to recreate themselves almost and then hit more success, or they just flop and disband. Or they lose a member at least. Like what happened with Girls' Generation. After 7 years, Jessica either left or she was kicked out of the group, depending on which side you believe. It just always seems 7 years. I mean, 4 Minute, 7 years. Beast, 7 years. They lost a member. Yeah. So it seems to happen with all the groups.
Wait, but Big Bang is still...
Big Bang's still going strong. Props to them.
Okay. So there's the K-pop curse. And there's your Big Bang.
Big Bang is immune to most things.
Yeah. Except for military enlistment.
So yeah, they came in with the original, or I guess toward the end of what I want to call the like original American Hallyu wave, which was this, like late 2009 or late 2008, early 2009 wave. And they made a big break with their song A.
Oh yeah, that's right. See, I feel kind of bad. I forgot about that.
And that's the song, for those of you who don't know. Gather around, youngins. Back in my day, A was known for actually being pretty risque because they, I don't know, pretty risque, but they were risque, at least for Korean standards, for raising their shirts as part of the choreography in the
and
chorus.
Revealing their...
A.
How much did they reveal?
Mind
just
you,
their
Peter's
abs?
also doing this.
Yeah, podcast listeners are spared my white man moves. But, yeah. So they raised her shirt up to just under their boobs. And then I guess that got them to a big brouhaha, and they had to change their choreography and everything and change their outfits so that they wouldn't do it again.
Oh, wow. But
the original music video still, I think, has it. I'm not sure. I think it does. So, Google it.
I don't know. So I really wasn't that familiar with Rainbow until you guys told me I had to look it up.
Oh.
And then Googled some of their videos on YouTube. I guess YouTube their videos. Yes, that.
YouTubed.
I YouTubed. And I could kind of see why they broke up. Like, none of their songs were particularly memorable. They were like clearly very talented girls who just weren't given the best material. They invested a lot of money into their music videos, it looks like. But the songs are just not that memorable. They weren't like any other Girls' Generation songs like G or something that get stuck in your head. Like, they weren't the ones that you would think about later on. So I can understand why they were just the ones that kind of only made it halfway. And I can see the frustration for these girls. Because they can see other girl groups
making it.
Not just making it, but making it because they were given better material.
Yeah.
Or getting better songs, better concepts. I mean, these girls are just as beautiful as any of the other groups. I mean, they've all had their work done. They haven't eaten a sandwich in years. Maybe they broke up because she wanted to eat a sandwich. Like,
They are pretty skinny.
Like, maybe they just needed a break, or they felt like their talents weren't being utilized.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can definitely believe that.
I can see that. I can see why they would be unhappy and not want to resign.
And how old are they? Do we know?
I actually don't know because, again, I'm also in the same camp as Joyce.
I'd probably say they're probably in their mid-20s that they've been out this long, or late 20s. So
yeah,
they've spent their youth and their prime.
The prime time of their lives
and
on mediocre singles.
And basically, yeah, mediocre singles, mediocre concepts. So, and they were just never Girls' Generation, or they weren't even Nine Muses. They just never.
Well, I don't know. I think they probably enjoyed more success than Nine Muses has to date. Probably.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I don't know if you agree, Matt. But.
Hard for me to say. I'm honestly not too familiar with Nine Muses either.
Okay. Telling other mediocrity.
I just know the booty song. Is that what is there?
You're referring to Wiggle Wiggle?
Yeah, Wiggle Wiggle.
That's not even them. That's Hella Venus.
Oh. I don't know the difference. There's too many of them.
Yeah. Do you have... I'll jump in unless you had further comments, Matt.
Well, I was just going to say that this is going to expose how limited my range of K-pop knowledge is. Yes, I do know a lot, but I don't know as broad a spectrum as everyone thinks. I'm not really all that familiar with Rainbow. The only song that I truly remember from them is Woo.
Yeah,
because it was kind of catchy to me, but aside from that, I have to think hard about the rest of their songs. So that's already kind of a bad sign to me if I really have to think hard about what your other songs are.
And how long have you been following K-pop for, again?
Well, again, I got into it in 2009, but that was through Girls' Generation and Kara even. Kara's another group that disbanded.
Yeah.
R.I.P. But yeah, I didn't.
But
even
you were
really
into K-pop during their lifetime.
Yes.
As a group, yeah.
And I think that kind of speaks to Nurse Joyce's point about how they didn't really enjoy the high points of success that other groups had, because the fact that, at the same time, Rainbow's disbanding is kind of sad because they've been around for a while. I remember when I first saw the news, I was like, wait, Rainbow's been around since 2009? Whoa.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I've only known them for Woo. I thought they just came out.
Yeah. For me, I do remember them through the years on and off, but I think I know more. I remember them more for all the fan-made remixes. It's like, these are some really awesome remixes, and they had very different tones and styles from the original, which I think made them sound a lot better.
As would be the case with the DJ, of course.
Yeah. I even did not a remix, a mashup of Numa Numa and their song A. Oh, back in the day, because they were so similar. But that's how I remember the group. And Woo is obviously a recent hit that I think is one of the more memorable songs. I think they definitely gave it a really strong effort. That last song, Woo, was really high production value. I thought it was a good song. I didn't like it at first, but I kind of warmed up to it. But it wasn't enough to push them past that brink into staying, top, within the top 5. I think maybe at the peak of Woo is within the top 10, but I don't know. This is me without looking at any polls, but that was my feeling. On
It
this
just
single.
makes me feel sorry for these girls.
Yeah, because obviously, I mean, they were each pretty talented and each very good-looking ladies, but the material, I think the songs were okay and very forgettable.
Yeah.
The concepts and they themselves, I think, were pretty good. Their most memorable concept next to Woo was the subunit Rainbow Blacks, right?
Oh, did they even do that? See, I don't even know.
Yeah, so Rainbow Blacks was or BLAXX is, I believe, how it is. It was like composed of a certain group of or a sub number of their members, and they did the Cha Cha song.
Oh, so it was the trio.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that was memorable, but just because of how sexy they were rather than the song itself.
Okay.
They were eating.
Sweets.
Lots of it.
I don't know. I just remember that one being provocative because it looked like it was sort of like a harem thing, and they had a madam, from what I could tell.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
But that's why people remembered it, and that was it. So,
poor girls.
Yeah, I think that's it.
When that's all you're remembered for.
Just another road bump in the road of K-pop.
Basically.
Well, I will say, I mean, I can't speak for the other remaining members. How many of them are there anyway? Like 7? I only am really familiar with one of their members, who's her name is Jisuk, because Jisuk has recently, in like the last 2 or 3 years, been making a name for herself as a photographer, and she's also been like, she's been hired by some of the other like fellow K-pop agencies, where she's done like the photo books and like even the album jacket shoots for other K-pop groups. Like they've hired her as a photographer, and she's done staging too. So it looks like she's got a nice backup plan since Rainbow didn't work out. But
job.
sadly, that's only 1 out of 7. I wonder if the other 6 have any backup plans.
Yeah, you know, a big question that when I heard this news, like what I wondered was, yeah, Nurse Choice, you bring up good points. It's like, well, you know, there's probably a lot of reasons why the girls don't want to keep this going. It's a lot of work, right, to learn each concept and develop the song, and for the girls to train for each concept. But the money, because you often hear about groups not turning even. Like it wasn't that long ago that AOA broke even. They've been at the top for a while now. So if they've been doing this many high production value concepts, which are expensive, and they're not quite making it in the top, you know, 1 to top 5, they're probably losing money. And I just hope that they're not saddled with a ton of debt.
Fair point.
Yeah. On that note, we'll close it out. So unless you guys had anything else.
If anything, I'll just say like good luck to all the members of Rainbow. I mean, I can't say that I've been a fan or anything. I mean, I was familiar with them, but again, I thought they were a brand new group when Woo came out. So it sucks at any time that you hear of any group disbanding, but then especially when it's a group that's been around for say 6 or 7 years, and to think of all those years invested. So I just hope for the best for the future. I mean, of course, things kind of suck right now, but let's hope things get better for each of the girls of Rainbow, Jisuk, and the other 6.
Bye, team. That's it for K Area for this week. We'll be back again. This will be broadcast on Big B Radio. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure you listen to the podcast in any medium that you usually listen to it in, be it Stitcher, iTunes, Google, Alexis, whatever. Tell your friends. And well, we're also looking for talent. So if you want to be a guest on our show, if you want to be interviewed, or if you just want to join us and shoot the shits and tell us why you disagree with us on K-pop, we're happy to have you on. So just hit me up. I'm at DJ Peterlo on Twitter. That's DJ Peterlo.
And I'm Supermatic. Feel free to tweet at me and let's interact. That's Supermatic with an O.
And this is Joyce. I don't know how to use the Twitter.
But she's on it.
I have like 12 followers.
Because you're famous.
No. All right, bye guys.
Bye.